Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from the Associated Press written by Jonathan Lemire, published on May 10th. Now, when I originally pulled this article before I had a chance to sit down, which was a few hours ago at this point, the title was different. The slant was a little bit different. And when I opened up my web browser, because, I have continue where I leave off, I noticed that the article was different. So I headed over to the Wayback Machine. I had to be a little creative to get the original article here. I really did. I had to be quick on the stopping of a refresh of the page, because as you're going to see here, somehow Associated Press has managed to make it so that they can wipe out archives of their pages. This was the first one, the first snapshot. Page not found. It's the same one. Second one, page not found. And it goes that way all the way through them. So what you have to do is reload the page. And then, as you're reloading it, you got to catch it before it gets to the point of saying page not found. Because, I'll show you. Actually, let me reload one of these pages. If you just noticed real quick, it actually had the original page before bringing up this right here. See? So they don't want people to read the original story. They don't want people to know that they've edited the story, that they've changed the slant, that they've even changed the title. Giuliani urges Ukraine to investigate Democrats, which scares the shit out of the deep state, out of the Democrats. Basically, anyone in the left that has a clue of how shady they are. Oh yeah, they're scared shitless right now. Because the Ukraine was one of the foreign nations that they conspired with to try to create this Russian bullshit with Trump. With corrupt oligarchs in the Ukrainian government, the same oligarchs that they installed into power. And for tit for tat, Biden's kid got a nice sweet contract in the gas and oil industry there. Now, the changes aren't that much, but they're enough that they should be noted. And I'm going to go through the changed article. But I just wanted you to see. If you look at it, it's actually much shorter if you get up to the text here than it originally was. There's like an extra paragraph or two in it. But they changed the title from Giuliani urges Ukraine to investigate Democrats to Trump lawyer Giuliani threatens, then abandons Ukraine trip. Because they have to slant this. They have to change the narrative and the direction that people go with this. So anyway. Now that that's out of the way, showing how shady AP is and such, let's get into their changed article. So anyway, let's see how sleazy Jonathan here and the Associated Press try to slant this thing, because they know that if stuff comes out of the Ukraine on what they were up to with the Democrats and the Clinton campaign and the DNC, they are beyond tattooed and screwed at this point. They already know they're up shit's creek if this stuff comes out. And they're afraid that it actually might. For once, we might actually see something like political corruption in the United States be put out there and actually investigated and prosecuted. Just a possibility. Why else would they be shitting purple Twinkies like this? Democrats denounced a plan by President Donald Trump's personal attorney to push Ukraine to open investigations that he hopes could benefit Trump politically, decrying it as an overt attempt to recruit foreign help to influence a U.S. election. Bullshit. Okay, I love how they try to portray this. He is Trump's defense attorney. Yes. The Democrats are going after Trump. It is not beyond the realm of a defense attorney to gather evidence in said defense of his client, which is exactly what this would be. But they don't want to frame it like that because the truth does not allow them to push the narrative that they want to push. And of course, the Democrats are going to denounce this plan because they know that they're screwed. They know that they are tattooed and screwed if anything were to come out of the Ukraine. And this isn't about benefiting Trump politically. Yes, it may help him defend his client, having anything that they would find in an investigation as his, defense team works on doing their due diligence. But it would be more of a benefit to this country to know which Democrats, if any, which we know there were more than a few at this point. I mean, stuff is just leaking out like it's a sieve now, here and there with things, it's like they're trying to plug the holes and they got all these fingers on them, but, a little slips out here, a little slips out there. But we know there was a lot of shady shit going on with the Democrats, DNC, Clinton, and Ukraine. I mean, even before the election, we know there was a lot of shitty shit going on between Democrats and the Ukraine. And they're really scared of that. And it isn't about recording foreign influence for a U.S. election. It's about defending the president from attacks. Showing, well, I didn't do this. This was created by the Democrats who worked with these people in the Ukraine. But they don't want that out there because, that might influence the election. So, we got to make it sound like it's a bad thing. But Rudy Giuliani late Friday said he does not plan to go to the Ukraine because of concerns about who he would be dealing with there. Yeah, because with how in bed the Ukrainian government is with the Democrats, he might not be able to trust the people there. It's pretty understandable. I've decided I'm not going to the Ukraine, Giuliani told Fox News Friday night. I'm not going to go because I think I'm walking into a group of people that are enemies of the president, in some cases enemies of the United States, and in one case an already convicted person, who has been found to be involved in assisting the Democrats with the 2016 election. Yes, exactly. And it's true. These are people that are in bed with the Democrats. He would have to find non-corrupt, non-bought off by the globalist left politicians that weren't installed into power there with the last change of regime, which actually wasn't that long ago. It was during the Obama administration, because you had a Russian-friendly government, a legitimately elected government. And they didn't like that. They did not like the fact that the Ukrainian government was friendly with Russia. They wanted it friendly with their business interests, which were, U.S., Western European-based interests that the left and the Democrats and others are all buddy-buddy with. So they engineered a coup during the Obama administration, ousted those people, and the people they put in, and this is one thing that they actually try to keep quiet, are literally party-wise, are the direct descendants of the Nazi party in the Ukraine. The party that ran, the government, the party/government that ran it during Hitler's takeover of Europe, as he was taking over territories. They were a group that was friendly to the Nazis and Hitler, and the Democrats got in bed with them. I wish I was making that shit up. These people are ridiculous. And I remember when that came out, it was like, nothing to see here, when the coup was happening and after. And the Ukraine is just definitely is corruption at its finest. Anyway, his statement left many unanswered questions about what Giuliani might do about his Ukraine concerns. Well, you find legitimate members of the government that are loyal to the government that aren't corrupt, I don't know. And Earlier, Giuliani had said he would travel to Kiev in the coming days to urge the Ukrainian government to conduct a pair of investigations, one on the origins of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's recently concluded investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election, the other on the involvement of former Vice President Joe Biden's son in a gas company owned by a Ukrainian oligarch. Yes, that's one of those things that really scares them, because creepy Uncle Joe is their front runner and they don't want any of that out there. But the thing is it should have been investigated when it happened, because it was shady as all fucking hell. But no, investigate it now. Hey, if the Ukrainians do it and it benefits Trump, so what? At least they're not, conspiring with the Ukrainian government and Ukrainian intelligence agencies to literally fabricate evidence to try to create a Russian narrative, at first to try to paint a candidate as an agent of Russia or allied with Russia. And then when that failed, then take said fabricated information and try to commit a coup with it. Because that's what they did. They tried to commit a soft coup. Heaven forbid that gets investigated. Giuliani's plan had seemed poised to create an unprecedented moment, that of the lawyer of the President of the United States seeking foreign assistance and damaging his political rivals. No, try the lawyer of, a lawyer trying to defend his client from unbased allegations by actually having, an investigation into them, or a collection of information, whether, a third party does the investigation or not, to defend the client. That's not illegal. In that context, it's not illegal. Because that would be like saying, on the idea of an average person, they're involved in a multinational corporate situation, and they go and ask the foreign government to investigate that said corporation. They're saying that by that logic, they're saying that would be illegal. I know that they're trying to use the context of the president to change things, but what they're saying is if a foreign investigator investigates, it taints the investigation or the evidence. That's what they're trying to imply, that this would be tainting the evidence, when they're the ones making accusations about the president. He has a right to defend himself. And his lawyers, in their due diligence, are going to build a defense against these accusations. They're going to find the evidence to counter said accusations. If looking for that evidence leads them beyond the borders of the United States and the person happens to be president, that does not all of a sudden make it illegal. They're trying to tie Giuliani's hands in the defense of the president so that he cannot go and use these things to defend the president, because they know that it will incriminate a shit ton of Democrats. It's ridiculous. It's so sad. To Democrats, it was a blatant evocation of Russia's meddling on behalf of Trump when he defeated Hillary Clinton. What meddling? Facebook ads that most of them showed up after the election? Trolls that you idiots on the left labeled as Russian bots that were real people? Come on, and they weren't even Russian? Come on now. You people are pathetic. And he defeated Hillary Clinton fair and fucking square, which is why all you idiots have been spurging out for over 2 years now. Like you are here, dipshit. What's your name again? Oh, Jonathan. Yeah, Jonathan. That's why you're spurging out here. You're ridiculous, all of you. Oh my God. You people are so sad. It's stunning that the Trump administration is going down the same tragic path they did in 2016, seeking help from a foreign government again to influence an American presidential election. It's appalling, said Rep. Adam Schiff of California. Oh, The guy who was probably in on the know with the Ukrainian shit. Yeah, okay. And number one, him just going out there at a rally going, hey, Russia, if you want to leak this shit, if you have anything and you want to leak it, that's your prerogative, isn't asking for help. Number one. Number two, what they've been trying to claim Russia leaked was done by Seth Rich. I mean, why else would someone who had access, who did not like what the Democrats did to Bernie, why else would he get a Clinton double tap robbery gone wrong where they didn't take a damn thing? I mean, come on now. This is ridiculous. So anyway, said Rep. Adam Schiff of California, who chairs the House Intelligence Committee. He said Trump allies were indicating, we're going to do everything short of what's downright criminal. Ethics don't matter. Patriotism doesn't matter. Translation. He's going to go to Ukraine and do something that isn't illegal, that could, if he were to do it, could actually dig up real dirt on Democrats. And we can't have that. Shut up, Schiff. You're a friggin' baby. We can read through what you're trying to say, dude. Giuliani, a former New York City mayor who often acted as smokescreen for Trump during the Mueller probe, pushed back against the criticism. He did not act as smokescreen. He did his due diligence as a defense lawyer, and because he did not bow down and kiss your feet and put up with your lies and your bullshit that you idiots on the left and the legacy media were spewing, okay? You're trying to say it was a smokescreen because he held your feet to the fire. He called out your bullshit. You people are pathetic. Jonathan, you're a moron. Explain to me why Biden shouldn't be investigated if his son got millions from a Russian-loving, crooked Ukrainian oligarch while he was VP and point man for the Ukraine. Exactly. I mean, that's a little fishy. It's tit for tat, seems to me. Giuliani tweeted at Senator Chris Murphy, Democrat, Connecticut, who criticized him. Ukrainians are investigating and your fellow Dems are interfering. Election is 17 months away. Let's answer it now. Yeah. Giuliani's trip, which was first reported by the New York Times, would have been the most high-profile effort yet by Republicans to call attention to growing talking points in conservative circles. No. See, this is what gets me. Giuliani is Trump's lawyer. He is defending him from the Democrats' bullshit, their spurgery. He talks about going to the Ukraine to see if there's any evidence there that would be beneficial to his client, and they're trying to say this is a Republican thing. No, it is an attorney trying to defend his client from baseless accusations after a soft coup failed. It really is that simple. They are trying to undermine the special counsel's investigation, call into question the case against Paul Manafort, Trump's imprisoned former campaign chairman, and wound Biden, the early Democrat frontrunner in the 2020 presidential race. So wait a minute. Looking for evidence that would counter the special counsel's investigation, that would actually show where it started from. All right, because it's believed that it started from the Democrats in the Ukraine working together and creating this bullshit to go along with the piss dossier. So actually looking at that would be undermining the special counsel's the special counsel's investigation. No, it would be showing that it's a sham, and you can't have that. It would be showing that it was a lie, that it was a fabrication, that it was a fraud, and you don't want that to happen on the left and with the Democrats. They don't want it to happen. And of course it would call into question the case against Paul Manafort, the same one that the Podesta brothers were neck deep in alongside Manafort and got a free fucking pass. But yet we're supposed to believe that this was impartial. The Podesta brothers were in it just as deep as Manafort, and they got a free pass. And it kind of came out that information was basically gathered for the Democrats. That's pretty much confirmed at this point. And then this idea of him being imprisoned. He wouldn't be imprisoned if you didn't fabricate this shit. If you didn't, well, not fabricate, but if you didn't work with the Ukrainians to pull this stuff up. And you didn't give the Podestas a free pass. They would be sitting in prison right alongside him. This was partisan. This was a partisan attack on that note. And this idea of wound Biden, if his kid was involved in shady shit, odds are he was involved in it as well, because he was the point of access for his son to get in neck deep with the oligarch. Oh my God. This is so funny. I mean, this is just, it's so friggin' funny. Trump and Giuliani have urged scrutiny of Hunter Biden and have raised questions about whether the former vice president helped oust a Ukrainian prosecutor whose office was investigating the oligarch whose company paid his son. Yeah, sounds like there could be some shady shit there. Some Trump allies have suggested that they can tarnish Biden with question about corruption, founded or not, much like they did to Clinton in 2016. Excuse me, Clinton was crooked as shit, going back to when her husband was president. You know, all those Chinese businessmen, you know, CCP party members, giving the Clintons millions of dollars during the days of, you know, those supposed trade agreements that were actually treaties that weren't properly ratified with China on the note of trade. You know, those things? Yeah. Because Congress didn't have a say in them. Yeah. You know, those shit deals that he made to screw the U.S., he got paid for them. They got paid for them. They've been collecting money. They're corrupt as shit. Nice try. The corruption actually gets talked about during the campaign, and it's, oh, well, founded or not, it's actually founded. Nice try. Giuliani has said he updated the president about his findings on Ukraine. The president is proper noun, should be capital. I know you spurgs don't want to do that out of disrespect for Trump. You know, you did it for Obama. Respect the office, regardless of who's in it. But the president about his findings on Ukraine, a nation deeply reliant on the Trump administration for U.S. military and financial aid. I'm hearing it's a major scandal, major problem, Trump said on Fox News recently. I hope for Biden it is fake news. I don't think it is. I love how he threw in fake news. That's beautiful. The Biden campaign has denied that the candidate or his son did anything improper. Of course they're going to. They're neck deep in the corruption. They're not going to admit that. The president has also tried to push claims that Ukrainian officials tried to help Clinton by focusing attention on Manafort's business in Ukraine. Yes, which is exactly what they did. The attention forced Manafort to resign from the campaign, and he was later convicted of financial crimes and sentenced to prison. Yes, as a direct result of that. Ukrainian officials have denied involvement, but Trump has latched onto the idea that Kiev colluded with Democrats and that the origins of the Mueller probe were fraudulent. Yes, because they did. This is what's funny. There's actual evidence for this. And they're going to try to push this narrative that, oh, nothing to see here. It's just Trump talking out his ass. You morons. You do not control the narrative anymore. There are many other sources out there, so you cannot lie like this and push bullshit as fact and get away with it. It doesn't work like that anymore. Meanwhile, the president's re-election campaign distanced itself from Giuliani's efforts, saying it had nothing to do with the lawyer's inquiry. Giuliani himself downplayed sort of questions about whether what he was doing was inappropriate. I love this. See, the election campaign is separate from his legal defense. They're trying to conflate the two. They're trying to make it sound nefarious that the election campaign says, we have no part of his legal defense. That's separate. And they're still going to try to make it sound like that's shady. And that Julian downplayed himself whether what he was doing was inappropriate. Because he didn't say, like the left wants him to, like in the legacy media, and the Democrats want him to. It's inappropriate. They're going to say he sidestepped it. It's so funny. We're not meddling in an election. We're meddling in an investigation, which we have a right to do, Giuliani told the Times. There is nothing illegal about it. Somebody could say it's improper. Yes, that's not side-skirting. That's not trying to, avoid. That's literally being direct. That was being succinct. I am sorry that you dipshits do not have a grasp of English vernacular to the point of where you can understand that. I mean, that right there is in black and white. It's to the point. What he's saying is they're not meddling in an election because this is his legal defense. It is separate. They are meddling in an investigation because they are actually investigating themselves. And they might pull up stuff that would actually lead to another investigation. Just saying. You people are pathetic. But the whole episode could trigger uncomfortable questions about foreign entanglements for the White House, which is still grappling with the aftermath of the special counsel probe. No. Grappling with the aftermath? You mean he was vindicated? How is he grappling with something that's good and you make it sound bad? You people are pathetic. He was vindicated. No collusion. I can't do a good Trump. I sound like the mayor of fucking Quahog there for a second. No collusion. Fuck, I can't do it anyway. But you know what I'm getting at. There was no collusion. He was right. There was no proof of it. Okay? Mueller just threw in his little bullshit to try to give the Democrats a lifeline. And you people are pathetic. For foreign entanglements. There would be no foreign entanglements because his legal defense is separate from his election campaign. He is also insulated because of the fact his legal defense is separate from him. Holy shit. We've come to a very sorry state when it's considered okay for an American politician, never mind an attorney for the president, to go and seek foreign intervention in American politics. Rep. Jared Nadler, Democrat in New York, the head of the House Judiciary Committee, said to CNN on Friday, well, you people are trying to make all these baseless accusations about him. His legal team, and I've said this multiple times, going and trying to find evidence to counter your lies and bullshit and show that you bastards fabricated the shit, or at least the Democrats will say. I'm not going to name you personally, because I don't know if you had any involvement there, Nadler. But looking for evidence to show that you guys fabricated this shit, the party, or the Clintons, etc. Hillary Clinton, her campaign, the DNC, the deep state. Looking for evidence to counter your bullshit narrative is somehow a sorry state. Why? Because they're not going to sit there and allow you to do that? Holy shit. Mueller did not conclude that the Trump campaign colluded with Russia and did not determine whether or not Trump obstructed justice. Well, there was no proof of collusion. He said there was no proof of it. That means he determined that there was no collusion. If there was no proof of collusion, which he said, that means he determined there was none. You lying sack of shit, Jonathan. Wow. And that lifeline of obstructed justice is complete bullshit because you sort of have to be investigating an actual crime for there to be obstruction, number one. And bitching on Twitter about your witch hunt, the left's Democrat witch hunt. Bitching about that is not obstruction. Talking about how you would like to fire someone is not obstruction. You morons. But House Democrats are pushing the inquiry further on a number of fronts, including issuing subpoenas for the probe's witnesses and documents, which is illegal. Holy shit. Grand jury information cannot be released. It is sealed. If they go to court and a judge says, hey, maybe they can have it, that's a different story. But they want Barr to just hand that shit over in violation of the law, which they would probably then go after him for, after doing what they wanted if he were to do it. These people are moronic, deranged dipshits. Trump this week announced that he would invoke executive privilege to shield the material, certain to prompt a lengthy legal fight. Well, on the same note, he doesn't even need to do that. That information is protected by law. Okay, the head who has the ultimate security clearances, he might be able to get around that. But no one else in the Democrat Party, say, like certain heads of committees in the House, they might be able to get unredacted access. But not all of them. That would violate the law. That violates the privacy of a grand jury. Which part of the reason why they do that privacy is to protect them. You've seen how the left acts. You think once they get those names, you don't think that if they voted on shit that they didn't like a certain way, they're not going to let those names slip out and have the Antifa thugs harassing those people? Bullshit, they wouldn't. I know it and you know it. Or some of you at least would know it. Because that's how they operate. Throughout the investigation, Giuliani attacked Mueller's credibility and often tried to change the public discourse by advancing conspiracy theories about the special counsel or Democratic investigators. Oh, no. He actually was talking about things that were questionable in regards to, Mueller and being impartial. Which he knew that he couldn't pull the shit that they wanted them to pull. The Democrats wanted him to pull. So he gave them every little thing that he could without screwing himself. And I think they're pissed that he didn't, throw himself under the bus for them and lie through his damn teeth. I mean, hell. Uranium 1, shady as shit. Mueller was a bag man. For the Clintons. I mean, come on now. You really going to trust that guy to be impartial? With a guy who beat his bitch? No. See, he kind of sort of, I think, had to. I think they were going to try to slant things a certain way in the Mueller report. And when Barr came in, he was like, look, you play shady shit, I'll have your balls nailed to my wall. And Mueller went, but we're friends. And he went, I don't give a shit. I'm the attorney general and you ain't going to dick around. And he had to do what he did, which was slip those little things in to give the Democrats lifelines that are absolutely nothing in reality. I mean, it's so funny. In the probe's final days, he began to zero in on the possible Ukrainian connection. Excuse me, but he didn't focus in on the Ukrainian connection. I love how they're trying to conflate his supposed conspiracy theories, which was pointing out, say, actual conflicts of interest, with where they've labeled the conspiracy theories with the fact of this now angle with the whole Ukraine thing. And the reason why they're doing that is because the whole Ukraine thing happened where the guy got busted that was in bed with the Clintons. That happened, and that brought attention to it. So then Giuliani started looking into it. Went, something doesn't smell right here. So doing that, they're now trying to say is a conspiracy theory when someone was literally linked to the Clinton side of things for the 2016 election doing shady shit in the Ukraine. Go figure. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like I said, I just wanted to show, if you've made it this far, I just wanted to show, this is ridiculous how they're trying to frame this. That if there's stuff that comes out of the Ukraine, which they know if it were to, at least this is my interpretation, because there's got to be some serious shit there, the way they're reacting. Because where there's smoke, there's fire. If the Democrats were just ignoring it, all right, saying, oh, nothing to see here, just whatever, doing their own thing, looking the other direction, not drawing attention to it. And he was saying that, and they just went, whatever. Let him go do it. He ain't going to find shit. Then you'd know there was nothing. But when they're pulling shit like this, where they denounced a plan by him to go to the Ukraine, to ask them about, investigations, and looking for evidence, because they're like, well, he's opening investigations. Well, he could also be talking to people that are already, that have access to already ongoing investigations maybe, or that, would know of some shady shit going on and could present some evidence. They're trying to make it sound like it's he's trying to get them. This is he's the lawyer. He's doing his due diligence and investigating a defense for his client. That's what this is. And they know that the repercussions could royally screw them on the left with the Democrats, the deep state, and they don't want it to happen. So they got to try, the legacy media's got to try to slant things. So anyway, like I said, they tried to change shit around and not tell people. So anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.